All right, US President Donald Trump has broken his silence following the historic election of Zohran Mamdani as New York City's mayor. After taking it to Truth Social, where he said, "So it begins." Earlier today, he spoke to Fox News and mocked the progressive platform, calling it communism that's never worked, and warned him to be respectful of Washington, D.C. Our next report giving you a lowdown on Trump's meltdown on the new New York mayor, Mamdani.
Mamdani, whatever the hell his name is in New York.
United Talent, thank you, representatives.
While many across the US celebrated Zoran Mamdani's historic victory in the Big Apple, America's big man Donald Trump was far from happy, going on a rampage against the 34-year-old Indian origin leader, warning that New York was on the verge of falling to communism.
If you want to see what congressional Democrats wish to do to America, just look at the result of yesterday's election in New York, where their party installed a communist as the mayor of the largest city in the nation. Remember, I've said we will never have a socialist elected to any post in our country. I used to say that, and I was right. We skipped socialist and we put in a communist instead. That didn't work out too well.
President Trump could not hide his outrage, upset about the Republicans' setback at the polls. Trump made it clear he will not allow this quote-unquote nonsense in the US while he's in power. In fact, Trump dubbed the mayor-elect's victory speech angry, warning Mamdani that he better play nice with the White House. Even though he had earlier threatened to cut federal funds to New York if Mamdani won the mayor race, he quickly changed his tune, reluctantly saying he would help the mayor-elect out, but only if he reached out to Washington.
He has to be a little bit respectful of Washington, because if he's not, he doesn't have a chance of succeeding. And I want to make him succeed. I want to make the city succeed. I don't want to make him succeed. I want to make the city succeed, and we'll see what happens.
Did you see reaching out to him?
I would say he should reach out to us.
A temperamental president is now stuck with a socialist mayor leading his financial hub, one hell-bent on taxing the rich, some of the president's closest confidants. A new battleground is now unfolding between Washington and New York. The question is, who will come out on top? Bureau Report, NDTV.
All right, yesterday on the show here on Newsnight, we told you about Zoran Mamdani's historic victory in New York City's mayoral election, and not just a victory for Mamdani, but also a shift for the Democrats in the United States of America. After Democrats won in 3 key races in the US, as drawing rooms across the world watch a Muslim person of Indian origin occupy the prestigious position at the City Hall for the first time. It is clear that this New York mayor and his victory has perhaps had a disproportionate impact on people's imagination, beyond New York and even beyond American shores. But let's now tell you what this widely watched election, what does it mean for the Republicans and Democrats alike? So what are the key lessons? Number 1, challenges to Trumpism and not to Trump per se. Because first, the win has been put across as a challenge to the US President Donald Trump a year after he won the US elections. And to put this into context, all the 3 highly publicized races were also won by Democrats, that is New York City, Virginia, and New Jersey. Moving on to the second challenge, that is Mamdani's political CV. Well, he is the youngest mayor of New York at the age of just 34. Mamdani perhaps has gone from a small-time rapper to New York politician, and hence his CV looks extremely remarkable. Number 3, it is his immigration test. The biggest challenge will be this, because it will be the issue of immigration, with the Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers unleashing an unusually severe crackdown on immigrants. And as Zoran Mamdani is the son of immigrant parents, director Meera Nair and scholar for Mamdani, it will have the task of immigration test on the ballot as the most important at this point of time. Well, Republican leader Vivek Ramaswamy offered a candid message on his X account to Republicans after Democrats won in 3 key races in the US. He rather laid down 2 major points, 2 key lessons for the Republicans. Number 1, party to prioritize affordability, and number 2, to cut out identity politics. Take a listen.
We got our handed to us in New Jersey, Virginia, and New York City. Democrats swept all 3. There's 2 key lessons for Republicans. Listen carefully. Number 1, our side needs to focus on affordability. Make the American dream affordable. Bring down costs, electric costs, grocery costs, healthcare costs, and housing costs, and lay out how we're going to do it. And number 2, cut out the identity politics. It doesn't suit Republicans. It's not for us. That's the woke left's game, not ours. We don't care about the color of your skin or your religion. We care about the content of your character. That's who we are.
All right, to talk more on this, I'm now being joined by Dr. Tara Kartha, former Director of National Security Council Secretariat, Senior Strategic Affairs Expert. Welcome to NDTV, Dr. Kartha. First up, of course, a lot of questions doing the rounds on what should have been done by the Republicans and what not. But the broader question is, what does this victory of Mamdani mean for New York? And do you think that this victory perhaps challenges Trump or Trumpism in America today?
See, the victory, you have to see it across the board. It is a challenge for Democrats and Trump, for both. Because this is a rejection of politics as it used to be. It's a rejection of the whole capitalistic, how democracy has eroded. It is instead of democracy, if in fact this is pretty much a trend which you'll see across the world, loss of faith in democracy that is being replaced by the capitalist system, by the elite. It's not just in the US, it's elsewhere. He is a product of that belief. And that belief in New York, which is a 2.3 trillion GDP, New York's, that is, it's one of the richest states in America. And this is whom he brought. So when politicians, either Democrat, but this time, of course, the Democrats' base is being eroded to an extent by Mamdani. So that, in effect, is a problem for the Dems, actually, because that's what he's talking the same language. Trump might very well take him on board, and it's possible. But the point is, I think here, is that the larger politicians missed the message at the bottom. And that is what you're seeing here. There'll be a temptation, I think, as we go along, from various sources, to see this as a Muslim vote. It is not. It is certainly not. It is a vote for people who see themselves as unrepresented. I think I'll stop there.
All right, Dr. Kartha, I also want to talk to you about what Trump said, his first open remarks after Mamdani being elected as New York mayor. He says that Mamdani should better be nice to him because a lot of things get approved from his end. My question to you is that with Mamdani's speech yesterday, a clear message to Trump saying turn the volume up, do you think this friction between New York and Washington, D.C. will perhaps have repercussions for the newly elected New York mayor?
He has got a lot on his plate, and I would assume that, that threat to cut off funding, which I don't think Trump will actually do because he's actually a lot smarter than that. But that will be a problem because much of what he's promised, in terms of childcare, in terms of free, bus, the faster and free buses, all that depends on how much the city can generate, and that depends on Washington to a large extent. Not entirely, but to a large extent. So if he can't deliver, then he's going to lose face. So, yeah, he has to work with Washington pretty much as most earlier, candidates did. They were, you had to work with them or else.
Right.
So Trump's threat is something that you have to take into account. But my sense is that they will work together.
Right, absolutely, Dr. Kartha. We'll wait and have to see if Mamdani can actually deliver at this point of time. But thanks very much for joining us here on Newsnight. All right, staying on with all that Mamdani has to offer, let's now tell you about Zoran Mamdani's Powerful Five, his women-led team. Let's tell you more about them and what their roles are. Number one is Elena Leopold. She's the executive director and strategist under ex-mayor Blasio. And she is Mamdani's campaign advisor, will focus on policy. Moving on to the second lady here, Leena Khan. She's the co-chair, ex-Fed Trade Commission chair under Biden. And she will be the antitrust crusader, will focus on economic policy. Then the third woman we are talking about here is Maria Torres Springer. She's the co-chair, ex-deputy mayor for housing workforce, and she's known for work in affordable housing. Moving on, we have Melania Hartzog. She's the co-chair, ex-deputy mayor for health, and she will be New York's budgeting expert, City Hall veteran as well. Lastly, in the Powerful Five Zoran Mamdani, we have Grace Bonelia. She's the co-chair. She led Racial Equity Task Force under ex-mayor Blasio, and her focus will be on supporting low-income New Yorkers. We do know that this perhaps was Zoran Mamdani's key focus areas, and these are the powerful ladies of Zoran Mamdani's Powerful Five. All right, now Mamdani, who described himself as Trump's worst nightmare, yesterday said that he's shown how the Democrats can defeat the US president as he celebrated victory in the city's election. His victory perhaps marks a stunning rise from little-known state lawmaker to the leader of the nation's biggest city. Let's now take a look at his journey.
Working people are being pushed out of the city they built. A mayor could change this, and that's why I'm running.
What started off as a dream has turned into reality. As Zohran Mamdani is all set to be sworn in as New York City's first Muslim mayor of Indian and African origin. The 34-year-old, who outgunned New York veteran Andrew Cuomo, will also be the youngest in over a century to lead America's biggest city. Mamdani didn't mince any words in his victory speech, reserving a special message for one of his biggest critics, US President Donald Trump.
So Donald Trump, since I know you're watching, I have 4 words for you. Turn the volume up. We can do all of that and so much more.
A year ago, Zohran Mamdani was a political unknown. Born and raised in Kampala, Uganda, he moved to New York City with his family when he was 7. The son of acclaimed filmmaker Meera Nair and a Columbia University professor, he attended the Bronx High School of Science, where he co-founded the school's first cricket team. The mayor-elect became a naturalized US citizen only in 2018. Once considered an underdog, Mamdani has since become a prominent political voice. With a sharp social media strategy and a grassroots campaign that drew national attention, he energized thousands of first-time voters, offering progressives a new model for digital-era organizing. Mamdani's victory underlined a great night for Democrats as they swept the first mayor elections of Trump's second term, with gubernatorial wins in Virginia and New Jersey. Though Mamdani's campaign made him a global sensation, real challenges await. He has made ambitious promises of free childcare, fast buses, and a rent freeze to make New York one of the most expensive cities in the world affordable. With Trump at his heels, Mamdani faces a make-or-break moment. It's deliver or be drowned out.
Billionaires like Trump.
With Vishal Vivek, Bureau Report, NDTV World.
Well, Zoran Mamdani may have scripted history as New York's first Indian-origin Muslim socialist mayor, but his rise has been wrapped in controversy. branded a commie lunatic and Jew hater by Donald Trump, and also mocked for eating with his hands. Not just that, attacked over his comments on 9/11 and accused of anti-Hindu and anti-Israel bias. Mamdani has been at the center of America's most polarizing debates. Let's now take a look at a few controversies surrounding Zoran Mamdani.
So, Donald Trump, since I know you're watching, I have 4 words for you. Turn the volume up.
United Talent. Thank you, representatives.
The Big Apple's new mayor, Zohran Mamdani, has created history, becoming the first Indian-origin Muslim socialist to take up the city's top post. A polarizing figure in American politics, the 34-year-old's meteoric rise has been anything but smooth. Among his fiercest critics has been President Trump, calling him a commie lunatic, a Jew hater, to threatening to hold back federal funds from New York. Though, Mamdani has made it clear, he's Trump's worst nightmare. Yet MAGA attacks against Mamdani hit home, slamming the Indian-origin politician for eating with his hands, a practice for over 1/3 of the world's population.
भाइयों और बहनों, इस इलेक्शन में सिर्फ 20 दिन बचे हैं। मैं हमारे शहर को अफोर्डेबल बनाऊंगा। न्यूयॉर्कर्स मुश्किल से अफोर्ड कर रहे हैं रोटी, कपड़ा और मकान। मैं ये सब बदलने के लिए लड़ रहा हूँ। रेंट फ्री बसेस, यूनिवर्सल चाइल्ड केयर और सस्ती ग्रोसरीज के जरिए। पर आपको एक सवाल पूछना चाहता हूँ, तुमने कभी किसी को वोट किया? कभी किसी को रैंक किया?
It didn't stop there. Mamdani faced racist jabs over his comments on the 9/11 attacks and Islamophobia, after he revealed his aunt stopped using the subway due to harassment. US Vice President J.D. Vance mocked the revelation, and opposition camps shared cartoons attacking Mamdani while mocking the tragic September 11 attacks. The Indian-origin state assemblyman has also faced trouble from Indian-American organizations over his comments against Hindus and slamming Prime Minister Modi over the 2002 Gujarat riots. Mamdani defended his position, claiming he grew up in an India that celebrated pluralism.
So I've been critical of Mr. Modi. And I've been critical of Mr. Modi because of the vision that I grew up with was of an India that was pluralistic, an India where everyone belonged, no matter their religion. And my critique has been of Mr. Modi and the BJP political party for their vision of an India that only has room for certain kinds of Indians.
A vocal critic of Israel's war in Gaza, Mamdani has even threatened to arrest Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu if he visits New York. Despite being a Democrat, Mamdani has taken aim at his own party's leadership, accusing them of neglecting working-class voters and the youth. He now faces scrutiny over alleged illegal foreign campaign donations. His wife, Roma Dwaji, now New York's youngest First Lady, hasn't escaped unscathed either, with MAGA accusing her of being aloof and even being a Hamas apologist. After pulling off one of the biggest political upsets of 2025, Zoran Mamdani is stepping into City Hall ready to clash with Trump. All eyes are on the Big Apple and its newest, most controversial mayor. Bureau Report, NDTV.